Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Let's start the Mangalacharan and we shall resume back to our series of the journey of self-discovery. Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnanajanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancha Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. Welcome everyone in today's session. So I'm just going to change the slides. We are going to share the new slide set today. Okay. So today we will start the second session of the journey of self-discovery, self-realization, right? What we have seen so far, we will do a quick recap, maybe in one slide, and we will do the quiz 4. And if you get the time, we will do quiz 5 and quiz 6 as well. Hare Krishna, everyone. So Ishan is here, Krishna Chaitanya is here, Ojas is there, Amog is there, Navneet is there, Rohan is there, Hare Krishna. And I guess Devesh and Devika is there. Are there. Great. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Very nice. Very good to hear you. Right. So why are we doing this? Self-discovery. Because in life, we're going to get a lot of points where we have to make the decision whether we take this side or that side. You are in school. If you are in primary, you will get into secondary. Some of you are already in secondary. In secondary, you have the choice, or even in primary, you have choice. But in secondary, you get even further, where you make the conscious decision with whom you would like to be friends with, right? And that's the choice in itself, because the association is the power which stays for long with you. And Tanmay is here, or Tanmay was here. Tanmay disappeared. Tanmay will come back. Hare Krishna. Let's move forward. So what we're going to cover in this, that's the main theme now. We have seen many ways, the purpose of the life, what people think, how animals and humans are different, and that being humans, we have this power, this ability that we can think forward and we can inquire. Brahma Asmi. We can inquire, which lower living entities like animals, they won't able to do, but we can, right? But whether we will or we will not, that's the choice we have, and we're going to make it. And Tanmay is back with us. Hare Krishna, Tanmay. Welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good to hear you, Tanmay. Well done. So now what kind of inquiry we should make? And this is one of those inquiries. We can make many inquiries, but this is one of those inquiries. Does God exist? And if you think about it, a lot of time when you ask your parents, they or the elders, I remember when I was a child, many seasons back, I used to ask many different questions from my parents. And one of them has always been in a very challenging mode. Later on, I understood that our mood, even if you would like to ask the questions, then it should not be very challenging. It could be submissive. Now, what's the difference between challenging and submissive? Anybody would like to share any ideas what you got in your mind? You can ask the questions many different ways, but two ways. One is challenging way and one is submissive way. Okay, challenging is hard, but submissive is easy. Very well. In simple terms, yes, Ishan, thank you. In a lot of terms, yes, it is. However, you need to have control over yourself. If you do, if you are one of those passionate, then yes, because most of the time by default we come into considering we are in Kali Yuga. By default we are in challenging mode, right? We are in defending mode. If somebody will say, why are you doing it? And you will quickly get on your first step, you would like to crush the other person and say, well, this is why I'm doing it. What do you think and all? However, if you take a step back, you can think, well, the person has just asked a simple question. Why are you doing it? And you can just give a simple answer, whatever the reason is. So the way we phrase, and true, it could be. Challenging could be that I don't think it's right. Nah. I think you're making a big mistake. I don't think there is a God. I don't think anything. For example, somebody will say, I think we should take left, not right. And you will say, well, I think it's a wrong decision. We should not take left, right? I mean, it's I can't even think that you said that you are asking us to go left. That's like a challenging mood. That's disrespectful, right? And the submissive could be, I wonder why. I wonder why do you think we should take left? What made you decide left, not right? And that way, you engage with your audience. This could be with a teacher, this could be with your colleague, with a friend, this could be within the family. The way we speak, the communication is such a powerful tool, right? In summer, we did a young leadership program. And at some point in New Year, we will do for the, because we did for Damodar Day, for Dubai kids. And there were quite many. There were over 50 kids there. And we will do here in South London as well, or it could be open for anyone who would like to join. And as young leadership program, what we say YLP, young leadership program, one of the main thing we stress is on communication. How do we speak? And for example, Ishan does something which is called Lambda, right? It's very similar to that, right? In that, how do you do that? How do you speak? How do you behave? How do you react? How do you engage with your audience? Really matters. So does God exist? It's not challenging. Depends how you're going to ask, right? And I would suggest if you will see someone who's preaching you about God, ask this question. But remember this, not in a challenging mode, saying, I don't believe God is there. If God was there, then do you think these things could have been happening? What's happening now? No, this is not the way. The way, but I don't understand. If God is there, then how these things could happen? How and why? Right? Now, again, it's not only the politeness in itself, but the words, the choice of words we make. But okay, so does God exist? Let's go for it. How many of us here think that God exists? Okay, Navneet is saying something, I guess. But I can't hear at the moment, Navneet. If in case you're saying something, sorry, I just...
Me, Prabhuji.
Haribol, yes, please, go on, Krishna Chaitanya. You think God exists?
Yeah.
Any reason, Krishna Chaitanya, why?
Because the first person on the earth
Mhm.
didn't just appear out of nowhere. Someone had to make that person. So, for example, if he was like the first person, no one else. So basically, he can't be created without someone like a god, because he's the first person, and you need two people to get a baby.
Great, fantastic. So I've, okay, thank you, Krishna Chaitanya. I've just written down, rephrase what you said. That first person had to be created by someone, and that someone must have been the God we know. Fantastic, thank you. And Ishan said something. I'm going to read that, but Navneet, you raise your hand as well, please. Would you like to say something?
So God,
Yeah.
word didn't come from nowhere.
Uh-huh.
So someone experienced God and told about it. If someone else could see God,
Mhm.
they can't show others God. Sometimes they get confused because of that.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. So Navneet said world couldn't have come from nowhere. Of course, it could be confusing because we can't see God. And then Ishan did say that it could have evolved from an organism scientifically. Yes, okay, sorry. So Ishan's response was in what Krishna Chaitanya said. And if you think about it, maybe what Navneet said. So Ishan has put forward an argument. Then, well, it didn't has to be the God. It could scientifically evolve. Now, Navneet and Krishna Chaitanya could reply back to that if you would like to. Otherwise, anybody else? We have many clever kids here. Anyone
What do you
else?
mean, Prabhuji?
Okay, sorry, Krishna Chaitanya. Yes, I thought that was. Ishan is actually very scientifically supported guy. What Ishan said that, sometimes when, and this happened with me once because I used to live when I was a student, but sometimes what happens, then when you, for example, if you leave two chemicals together, then those two chemicals could mix and they can produce the third chemical. And you don't need any external factor. Well, you do need external factor, but external factor could be oxygen or the environment around us, the heat, temperature, and all. And that's already readily available. So maybe, but this is what Ishan is saying, that maybe God wasn't the one who created all these things. These things, the environment was such that scientifically we just developed, we evolved.
So is he trying to say that the first person on earth that didn't even have anything basically made everything?
Yes.
That's not possible.
Yes, yeah, and Ishan agrees that it's a very complicated way of understanding because world is very complex. So Ishan is not saying this or that. Ishan is saying that this could be. He has just opened the argument that this could be one of the reason, rather than thinking that God created this, that it could be that it just evolved. The humans just came up, like Darwin said that humans came from apes. Yes, please, Navneet.
So universe created Earth.
Yeah.
Earth created humans. What creates universe? God makes universe.
Mm-hmm.
He is the producer.
Very nice. Fantastic. Now we are laying the foundations, what we are going to discuss further. Great. Thank you, Navneet. And Ojas, you has raised very gracefully your virtual hand. Would you like to say something, Ojas? Please.
Mm, I'm not sure who created the universe, but the planets were created by themselves because meteorites crashed among themselves to make tiny particles and they joined together to make the planet we live in.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Thank you. So Ojas says that not sure who created the animals, the humans, the living entities, but the planets. Because we did say the God created universe, but the universe was created by meteors, and there are many other universal elements which crash together. And I'm trying not to use the jargons because at university, my first degree was aerospace engineering. And I was very, very interesting in all of them. So this is fascinating what we can learn out of scope. Well, when I say out of scope, means out of Earth in the aerospace. So great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And let's keep those in mind. Now, again, we are discussing this. So keep your mind open. What we are going to discuss is what we discussed there. Learn to see God based on your practical experience of things around you. Now, Navneet said, very good thing that a lot of time people not able to see God. No, I said normally, hardly anyone sees God. But we could be trained to see God practically around us. Anybody knows how to do that? What does that mean? No? Okay. So I will give you the analogy. What is analogy? Analogy could be or anecdote. There are two different things. Anecdote is a small incident. Analogy is comparing something with something else. So I will be talking about animals, but I would like to discuss humans. So I will give you the example of something to explain a fundamental, but that fundamental will apply on something else. So, anecdote, a small story, very quick one about incident rather than story. Prabhupada ji, the founder, Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada ji, he was walking. He used to walk a lot, and while walking, he was chanting, and his disciples, his students they were around, and he was old, 70 plus, so he had a stick. He was walking, and he looked at it, the tree, and he was happy. So somebody said, Prabhupada ji, you're so happy. Why are you so happy? He said, I'm so happy because I can see Krishna everywhere around me. And the devotees, they looked at the tree, the grass, and everywhere. They said, why don't I see it? And then Prabhupada ji started laughing a bit. Then he said, Prabhupada ji, come on, tell me, do you see Krishna on that tree? And Prabhupada ji said, yes. He said, why don't I see? He said, I don't see the way you expect me to see. He said, what does that mean? I will say that again. Prabhupada ji said, I don't see the way you expect me to see. I don't understand what you mean. Prabhupada ji said, you expect Krishna as a form of human sitting on that tree. And that's what you thought I saw Krishna sitting there in the flesh, in the bone. You say, yeah, that's not what I meant. You can see the energy of Krishna everywhere. You say, I don't understand. So Prabhupada ji said, okay, I'm an old man. Can you see this stick? I say, yes. Say, if you will see this stick after I have gone, and gone means when I've gone to India, or Prabhupada ji used to travel a lot. He traveled few times across the globe. So he said, when I'm not in this city, I will leave this cane here because he used to have many. When you will see this stick of mine, will you miss me? This stick will remind you of me. He said, yes, yes. He said, so is it fair to say when you will see this stick, you will think of me? He said, yes. Say, when you will see my glasses, yes. When you will see my picture, yes. When you will see my books, yes. I said, well, is that true that anything associated, related to me will remind you of me? And he said, yes, that's right, it will. He said, that's how I see Krishna everywhere. Because anything and everything I see belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the source of all those things. And because I can see that, I can feel that, I can see Krishna, I can feel Krishna everywhere. And this is why it says, learn to see God based on your practical experience of things around you. It's not that when you will go in the temple, you see the deities and you will say, oh, I can see Krishna. No, we can see Krishna everywhere. When the sun is rising, we can see Krishna, because it says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given the light, energy to sun and moon. So in the day sun, in the night moon, and when we drink water, when we hear the voice, Krishna is the sound, it says. So we will come back to this, but moving forward, basis of belief. Now, why do people believe? And a lot of time people say, no, we don't believe, we are scientifically, well, this is for Ishan, because Ishan, we, like, if I will say for myself, but many of the kids out there, I know Rohan is there, Tanmay is there, Ojas and Amog there, Navneet, of course, there. So Devesh and Devika also, Krish Chaitanya. All of you guys, you could be very scientific, and obviously more and more science you will study, then the questions will arise in your mind, like it did in mine and many more kids. So you will think, why do people believe? And have you heard of blind belief? Anyone knows what blind belief is? Anyone? I don't have that picture. Yes, please. Devesh, Devika?
You just believe it. That's without any proof or anything. You just believe it.
Okay, without any proof, just believe it. I think that's what you said, yes?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Without any proof, just believe it. So thank you. Amok, would you like to say something?
Yeah, it's basically like when you like trust anyone blindly, like you have full faith in them.
Thank you. Yes. So very similar when you don't have a proof and you just believe someone, right? You don't even think about it. Navneet, you raise your finger.
Then blind is like you trust something without knowing the reason.
Without knowing the reason. Fantastic. Okay, now we have the power of reasoning because we are humans. We can reason, right? Animals won't. Well, some of them they can, but usually they don't. But how about this if I will say that a lot of people, they die because of poisoning. A lot of them. And sometimes bad food, sometimes spoiled food, sometimes intentionally poisoned food. But yet every day we, thankful to Krishna and our parents, we eat food and we don't doubt the food. Why? Is that blind faith? Could this be categorized as blind faith? Do you ask your mom or dad in some cases that have you put poison in this? Have you tested it?
No, I haven't, but they could.
They could. So why
And
don't?
they could lie.
Yes. Is that blind faith that we just eat the food?
What do you mean?
Means when our parents give us the food and we just eat that food, is this blind faith?
Yes, it's blind faith.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that they won't give you poison.
Okay, you don't. Okay, thank you,
I
Krishna.
don't ask because like maybe like before I eat, I'll see how they act and stuff, how I act, how they talk and stuff, and then you might just realize that something's wrong with the food, or you could smell it.
Fantastic. Yes, true.
Or if you have a dog or something, if they smell it, they might just run away or do something.
Yes, certainly. Yes, and I think Devesh or Devika, one of you also said it, and I could not hear because I think but you said because you know they won't, right?
Yeah, it was Devika.
Devika, thank you, Devika. Your voice is a bit, there was some background noise, but I could hear you this time. Navneet, you raise your virtual hand. Yes, please.
So that, like, animals, they don't understand things. For example, you eat something, the animal won't eat that, or it don't know how to eat it. So
Yeah.
animals cannot, like, do right
Mhm.
or say things,
Fantastic.
as in communicate in a way of speaking. They
Yes.
can't do those type of things.
Great. Now, you did say, well, okay, Navneet, you have said it. So thank you. I will lower your hand. Right, great. So a lot of you said very similar thing. And remember, this will come back to you again and again, especially if you are from Asia and you are in Western world. If you observe, even Western people do it. So it doesn't really matter where you are from, what do you follow, but a lot of people, they don't think of it, but they are what we call unconscious biased. And this is a big word, unconscious bias. What does that mean? We are conscious and we are biased. We know Amog is my good friend, I will do favor for Amog. This is conscious bias. I'm doing favor for Amog because I know he's a good friend of me. I have made this decision consciously. But then just because I spend time with Krishna Chaitanya, I will automatically do favors for him without realizing it, that I'm doing favor for him. This is called unconscious biased. Right. Now, the reason we don't ask our parents, that if parents suggest us, and most of the time we do it. Well, not these days, kids are different. When I was a kid, I used to. But having said it, the point is that why we trust, right? So the element of trust comes in, like Devika said, we know they won't. They can, like Krishna Chaitanya said, they can, but we know they won't. Why? There are two things which comes into. Yes,
Prabhu,
yes, please.
like for example, if someone got a baby, but the baby was Krishna, okay,
Yeah.
and then they want another baby, but Krishna is the one who makes the babies, then how do they get the baby if their first baby is Krishna?
Haribo, thank you so much. Yes, it's like, again, I always take the example of principal and teachers, right? If you think about it, in this school, you have principal and you have teacher. But most of the time, principal is also a teacher. Principal could be a teacher as well. So for example, principal was before principal got promoted to the role of principal was a mathematics teacher, maths teacher, right? And then, but these days he doesn't teach maths because he's principal, he takes care of the whole school. But one day what happened, maths teacher got sick and he didn't turn up. He called, so sorry, I won't be able to make it. My tummy is aching. I'm going to go back to bed. And principal said, okay, no worries. Today he's not there, but I'm a maths teacher as well. I will go and teach. And he went. He went in one class, taught maths. Then he was there in afternoon teaching maths. And then maths teacher, the original maths teacher, he thought, wow, my health has improved now. Because I slept for 2 hours or 3 hours, I can go to school. So now in the school, in that particular class in afternoon, principal is teaching maths. And the original maths teacher, he's walking in. So as soon as he walks in, the students thinking that our original maths teacher is there. So the principal has to go. But how we got this maths teacher? Because maths teacher was appointed by the principal. So this is again the role somebody has already given to someone. And Krishna Chaitanya, you got your hands up again. Please.
Yeah, is this possible that Krishna can basically be born with someone and then he can basically make himself have a twin brother. Imagine how cool that would be.
Yes, I completely agree. Oh, Bhagavatam, and I know you hear Bhagavatam from your mom. Bhagavatam
Yeah.
is full of such amazing stories where Krishna can, the word we use is planetary expansions. Krishna can expand himself. Krishna can duplicate himself. And we have seen in the story of what we call Brahma Vimohan. Vimohan is like a bewilderment, confusion. When Brahmaji got confused, what's happening here? And then what Krishna did? Krishna expanded himself into the calves and the other gopas, other friends of him. And we will do that story at some point as well. Thank you so much for all your contribution. Now coming back to belief, the reason we believe, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons we discussed in the family, because we trust them, right? One of the reasons we believe is that we trust the family members. Why we trust? And one of the reason could be because we have self-realization. What kind of realization? Because we have seen it. That yesterday they gave us food and that was okay. Day before I ate the food. So if it didn't happen, not that it could not happen one day, and no, by no means I want you to doubt your parents, but you got to understand that by unconsciously we all have beliefs. But could it be false? Could it be blind? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Prabhu,
Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
my mom was saying, did you stop doing the slokas?
Ah, I have, because we are doing this series of this journey of self-discovery, and this is one of the book or part of the book of from Srila Prabhupada ji. So once we have completed this series, then we will go. Well, then we will do Goloka chart, and then we will go back to our chapter 5, and then we will do the verses again. But very good question. Thank you, Krishna Chaitanya. Haribol. So just moving on to this. Now there are few reasons why people believe. There could be many more, but there was a research done, and as per the research, these are 4 reasons why people believe. And this is not blind faith. This is based on their own realization. Demand and supply. What does demand and supply means? Anyone? Okay. Well, if you'd, okay, yes, please, Navneet.
Supply is what you have, and demand is what you have. Like you tell an order and someone does. It's like you tell someone to do something.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Prabhu,
Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
why does Ishan never talk? He always goes at the chat.
I guess now the answer will come in the chat as well soon, and I will let you know. I don't know. Ishan got melodious voice. Maybe he doesn't want to waste his voice. He thought, well, it's Sunday evening. Let's just chat rather than speaking. I don't know. I don't want to speak on behalf of Ishan, but it could be a personal preference. Some people, they love chatting. Some people, they love speaking. Like I'm missing Adi because Adi loves speaking as well. But well, Adi loves chatting as well. But well, coming back, now this is the time when we will do a quick quiz. And this quiz is based on what we have already discussed, right? So the quiz is coming now on 3. So 1, 2, 3. You should be able to see the quiz of the previous things we did before. And the next quiz, so this is quiz 4. Next quiz will be quiz 5. And that quiz will have the question on this slide you see. At the moment, you don't need to worry about it. Okay. one person has always been quick and has already done it. This should be easy or easier
To
because
me, Prabhuji.
it's you, Krishna Chaitanya. You're super fast. You're the quickest fingers. You do it like that. I have created this quiz, but I think even if I will attempt, I won't be that quick. You're so quick, Krishna Chaitanya. So again, we should always remember what we have done, and that's the point of all quiz. And of course, you get the break. You don't have to listen to me all the time, even though I'm still talking.
What are sacrifices?
What are sacrifices? Yes. Sacrifices could be in different ways, but yajna is one of the sacrifices. Yajna is in the fire when people put different things. And that's what we call yajna, fire sacrifice. So this is basically for yajna. This used to happen a lot. Still, it happens a lot. But there was a time it was the best thing to be thought for. Okay, Navneet says you lose something for a reason. That's sacrifice. People used to sacrifice animals. There are stories when parents sacrificed kids, birds sacrifice their own lives. So sacrifice, just giving things. But in our context, fire sacrifice. Okay, so this is the time. Unless somebody will say, I'm going to close it now. So good time to close. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So I'm not going to share the results here because we have discussed this in past. But very quickly we will see this and then we will move forward. And you will see how this is important in Krishna consciousness. So different people believe for different reasons. Right? And we will see, we have already seen some of the responses here. Some people think similar, some people think differently, and this will always be the case. You will never find all the people thinking on the same pace, and that's the beauty of life. Imagine if you will just find all the people thinking in similar ways, then people won't be able to think out of the box. So what we're saying, demand and supply. Sometimes you believe on something because the demand is there. Demand means that the requirement is there, the request is there, and then you supply or somebody else will supply. What does that mean? If there is a jewelry shop, jewelers, they have gold, silver, platinum, and many other metals they could have. But if somebody will come, or the guests will come, the visitors will come, and they will say, we want gold. So the gold will go. Gold is in demand. People come and buy gold day after day, and nobody is buying silver. So what will happen? Very soon the shopkeeper will say, in our shop, keep less silver and more gold. Why, people? Because the people buying gold, because the demand is there. So the shopkeeper will say, because the demand of gold is there, I need to supply this gold. Now, whether the shopkeeper likes gold,
Prabhu,
yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
do you know the Apple store?
Yes,
Like the one where you buy phones and stuff.
that's right. Yes,
You know they've made a car.
they made a car, of course. Yes.
Did you see it? It can
Ah.
park by itself.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that how many gold bars will it take to get to that amount of money for that
a lot.
car?
A lot.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I agree. This is what it is going forward. AI, artificial intelligence, drive.
And by humans making more new stuff, it makes more animals get extinct.
Fantastic. Yes, this is one of the things we are going to discuss now. Thank you, Krishna Chaitanya. Very well. So even though the shopkeeper likes silver or platinum, he will buy more gold. People will think if he's buying more gold, then he likes gold. But no, Because gold is in demand, he's supplying the gold. That doesn't mean he likes gold. So this could be one of those reasons. So some people will go and they live in London because you get more jobs, higher paid jobs in London. People will say, oh, maybe he likes London. That's why he or she lives in London. But no, maybe because the requirements is there, the demand is there. And that's why the person has to supply. So the belief could come from there. Belief could come from fear. Somebody is very scared of something, and because of that, the person is believing something. And there could be many reasons. Rather than God loving, a lot of people are God fearing, that if I won't do this, God will come and spread COVID or something else. Aaron is laughing at the back. Out of peer pressure. So even if we don't like anything, we will just believe it because our friends say so. Or if I won't say so, then people will laugh. And a lot of time this happens. I don't want to do it, but well, I will do it because my friends like it. Right? In Krishna consciousness, we will come out of all these beliefs. And that's the reason we are discussing. A lot of time we are not even conscious of this. Or if we are conscious, we don't accept. And that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness, that if we understand at that young age what you are on, then we understand Bhagavad Gita better, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, and how to implement that in our life and the decisions we can make. Then the last thing, carrying on the tradition. A lot of time people say, well, you know, the guy before me, in office we say guy before me used to do it, and we have been doing it for 100 years. That's the way we do things here. And that's the reason we should do. So there are a few different reasons, and a lot of people, they do it, they have one of those beliefs, and that's the reason they just been doing it for many years. Even they are not conscious of that. So just on that, let me just see. I think the next quiz has all of them. Okay, next quiz is very quick, only 3 questions, so we will do in few minutes. But before that, creation implies creator. And this is what most of you have said it, but except Ishan, who said that organism, it could come up, and I think that's Darwin's theory as well, which is fair enough, which is good. But what we will see here, that who is the inventor of all these things? Now there is a quiz on this as well, actually, if you can remember. Who invented steam engine, electric bulb? Thomas Edison. Thank you, Ishan. That's bulb, not the steam engine, I guess. And then who invented telescope? And who invented telephone? Okay, Navneet, raise the hand for one or other.
Galileo Galilei invented the telescope.
Galileo invented the telescope. Amol,
Sir?
please. Yes, please.
Yeah, the telephone was invented by, I think, Graham Bell.
Graham Bell, fantastic. Yes, thank you, Amol. That's right. Oh, okay. Ishan is thinking twice. Tanmay is right. Galileo. And we will see. And Ishan has requested us to wait. I'm sure he will catch up. Okay. So what we can see here, and we can see different reasons, but then we're thinking, who invented this? Who invented the solar system? Now, somebody did mention about, who was it? That Krishna Chaitanya said it, that meteors could be there, and because of that, planets, oh, Tanmay said it. Sorry, I forgot, I lost the track of it. I'm just taking everyone's name there. Not very nice. You might be thinking, I didn't say it. Why Prabhuji taking my name? Okay, oops. Oh, just said it. Okay, thank you, Amol. I'm glad you mentioned, otherwise I must have mentioned, I would have mentioned your name next. So thank you, Amol. So O just said it. Yes, that could be one of the reasons. But do we think that all these things happen automatically? Like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Yes, please, Navneet.
So the rocky planets, they made from solar nebula, and then gas giants, some particles of hydrogen and helium connected together to form them.
Yes, yes, a lot of science there. So this is what we say, that how things happen, why things happen. right? And I will leave you with that. How things happens, but why things happen. Now there must have been a reason why these things happen. And you can see the shooting star, which is a kind of meteors, what we say. There are different kinds of them. But the whole universe is there, and the whole universe is placed such a way that even if it will go a bit left or right, things will fall over. For example, if Mars is a bit nearer to us, if Venus will change. Imagine if one day Venus will say, oh, I don't want to go left, I want to go right. Well, if some reason it all happened, why it cannot change it? Because it's all natural. And nature change. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it shines, sometimes it doesn't. And we just make predictions, being humans. Okay, so this is what we thought. Now we can discuss in detail where Earth is. And if we think about it, of course, we can make the Big Bang Theory. Anybody knows Big Bang Theory? Have you heard of Big Bang Theory? The planets cannot move left or right. Thank you, Ojas.
Sir.
Amog, yes, please.
So yeah, there was this theory that people say that there's this planet type of thing that was as big as a golf ball, but its atomic mass and when it exploded, the explosion's power was so much that like it created asteroids and and then all of the asteroids collided into each other, and
Yes.
then after that, Earth was made from that.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Partially right. Thank you, Ojas. And Ishan says the explosion is still going on. That's right. Explosion is going on, and because of the explosion, the expansion is going on. And that's so true. That is still happening in the outer space. True.
Speaking, in the Big Bang Theory, there was a tiny fruit-like thing. It was a tiny thing that was smaller than a grapefruit, and it exploded, and then that force caused everything to move, and the universe is still moving, like expanding.
Yes. Thank you, Devika. Very clever. Thank you. Yes. So very similar to what Amok said. And now the question is that tiny thing, the golf ball, something similar, the atom, if that collided with something else and the big bang happened. Now, a lot of times, in very simple terms, what they say that, okay, after the Mars, there is the asteroid belt. Yes, there is asteroid belt. Thank you. Or just said it. Also, some planets collided. Yes, that's right. The Big Bang took a fraction of a second, but it was started of time. That's right. Yes. So all that right. But the very first thing we are thinking is that where that matter which collided came from. What's the origin of that matter? If you think through that matter collided, and then after that collision, yes, please, Navneet.
So it came, Brahma, he sent it, and then it exploded, and then it created.
Haribo, very nice. Ojas, yes, please. Ojas, you raise your virtual hand, but I can't. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Most of the asteroids don't collide with the Earth due to Jupiter's gravitational force. Because the asteroid belt could have easily destroyed it, and most of it came from the Big Bang Theory. But also, because there's no gravity in space, half of the asteroids collide with themselves to make tiny meteorites and asteroids.
Very nice. Thank you, Ojas. Yes. So I think you all said it. Ishan said it, and Navneet said it. Ojas said it. Amok said it. Devika said it. So yes, yeah, we all believe in Big Bang Theory. And there's a book written recently called Origin. If you get the chance of reading it. Some of you I know are great readers here. So if you like to read that book, it's quite thick. I must warn you. I don't remember how many pages, but must be more than 1,000 pages there. But again, at the end of the day, it's a belief and it's a theory. The point is, yes, please, Devika.
Speaking about?
Sorry, Devika.
Which book are you speaking about?
Oh, this is not a religious or Krishna conscious book, but the name of the book is Origin. Origin by Dan Brown. Dan Brown is one of my favorite author, and
Yeah,
his
like the Dan Brown series. It's one of the Dan Brown series.
yes, thank you. Yes, many movies been made out of his books. Origin is the latest book. The movie is not there on that yet, but all the theory in his books been proven. So, but Big Bang we cannot prove, but he has kind of touched Big Bang in his book. And the question origin, and this is what we are discussing, from where it all started. All right, but before we move any further, maybe the time to do next quiz. So I'm going to launch the quiz now on 3. 1, 2, 3. This should be quick. Okay. Thank you, Jay. And I think most of you have done it. And Amol said said a great thing in the chat, that Earth is formed in such a unique way that even the angle of the Earth contributes to human life. And that's so true, because obviously Earth rotates and revolves, but Earth is not a straight ball, if you say. It's a bit tilted, and it matters. If it will tilt less or more, then our lives could be different. But is this just a coincidence at what angle it is? It's just a coincidence that if our Earth will go nearer to the sun or further away from sun, the lives will be different and we might not even survive. These kind of questions we can ask ourselves. But the reason what we basically saying is that when we saw the slide with 4, okay, thank you so much. I'm going to close the chat now. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. I'm just going to share the results very quickly because this is a new quiz we did today. We do have another quiz ready, quiz 6, but we will do it next time. Before I do that, Ojas, please, you have raised your virtual hand.
I was just saying that the light, even if we are like the last planet in the solar system, we'll still get light, but it will take longer. Like for Saturn, it takes 80 minutes. But the most thing would be that the temperature will fall down immensely.
Very nice. Thank you, Ojas. Yes, precisely as you said it. So it will really matter, or it does matter where we are. We have been placed. Now, this could be a coincidence. A lot of you might think, but think about, is it really a coincidence that Big Bang happened and all of this precise calculated planets being created out of nothing? If you just, there is a small, as you said, the big, small matter golf course size ball that, or if let's say there are 2, they just collide with each other and big planets being created. Is it possible? There's still many PhD theses going on there. Right. So just about the poll, the very first one, what type of solutions do we have on Earth? Well, if you think about it, we only have temporary solutions. We don't have the permanent solutions, but for the real problems, what is not the basis of belief? Well, we have seen the culture is the real answer, because when we saw that slide where we said basis of belief, we have fear, demand, and supply out of peer pressure, but culture is not there. Tradition is there, not culture. There's a bit difference. From a small ball, a planet like Earth was formed. Yes, Jay. And yeah, this is what we will discuss even further if we need to. The third question, what could be the basis of belief? Demand and supply out of pressure, carrying on the tradition. All of the above is the correct answer there. So thank you so much. I'm going to close the chat. All right. Okay, it's closed now. You can't see it. Now we are just closing by space technology is part of it. Anybody knows what's this? Yes, Navneet, please.
A satellite?
Yes, satellite.
A solar satellite.
I think the one that powers television.
Satellite.
It's a satellite. Okay.
Or the one that was
Solar satellite.
space.
Fantastic. This is a satellite. And there are many satellites. There are two types of satellites. Anybody knows what two types of satellites? One is
Sir?
there are two types of satellites. Among?
So I mean, people say that the moon is a natural satellite, and
yes, and the second
and the
one?
image, yeah, and then there's artificial satellites.
Fantastic. Yes. So
natural and man-made.
Yes. So you can say natural and man-made. That's a, Jay, would you like to add something to it? Okay.
Sometimes the moon is considered not natural.
Sometimes moon is considered as not natural. Why is that? Okay. Oh, possible. A lot of people consider many things, but I would say for our discussion, we can say moon is natural as the earth is, because humans did not create moon. But if somebody will say, well, we did something and because of that, something happened, and because of that, moon was created, and that's why humans created moon. Well, people can say that. But it could, if people sometimes say it was an accident, right? But we have satellites, and there are so many satellites there, natural and man-made. So all of them are controlled here in control room. Great, thank you. Right? So this is very old picture because the computers are old, you can think. Jay, would you like to add something, please?
Like the moon was created from an asteroid, like rain, which like hit the earth, and a part of the earth only like came out and it froze to become the moon.
Yes, yeah. But then that was also the natural process. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It will be considered a natural process because there were no like humans to do that. At that time, there was no human existence.
Yes.
Prabhu,
Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
if someone, I don't know if it's possible or not, but if someone got the moon like on planet Earth, how much light will it shine? Like, could you tell me from like a light bulb, how many light bulbs will it take to get to the moon's shining?
Okay. Well, okay. Before I say anything, anybody else would like to reply to Krishna Chaitanya? Krishna Chaitanya wants to know if moon will come on Earth. Okay, Amok?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that the moon actually doesn't shine the sun. It basically is like a mirror. It reflects all of the light back on Earth. But on light bulbs, I don't know. It must be like thousands, millions, maybe.
Thank you. Thank you, Amol. Yes.
Like,
Navneet, would you?
like the moon, it blocks a part of the sun which casts a shape of the moon. That sometimes happens.
Thank you. Thank you, Navneet. That's right. And this is what Amog also said. And the correct word is, what Amog said, is the reflection. Reflect. Moon reflects suns.
Prabhu,
Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
is your birthday on January?
My birthday is not in January.
Is it in November?
It's not in November. And before you will ask many others, I can tell you when it is. Otherwise, you will go all other months. Okay, my birthday is in February, Krishna Chaitanya. Thank you so much.
My birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, happy birthday.
happy birthday. Happy
Thank you.
birthday to you and all the blessings for you.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So this is the time when we end, but there are many more interesting things. And the reason we are discussing this in Krishna consciousness, because we are going to boil down. Again, we are thinking from the rational mind. We are doing what humans should do and the way humans should discuss. Because we are humans, we can think and we can discuss. Animals won't able to do that. Next time, if you will see two dogs together, you might think what they are thinking. They are not thinking, oh, who created this earth? I wonder who created this Jupiter. They won't be thinking of this. Right, yeah. When we're going to get our food, maybe that's what they will discuss. But we can discuss this and why we should discuss this, because then we will able to understand gradually in a very natural way, we might reach to a conclusion. And that's the point we are discussing. So, okay, great. We will continue this. And if you would like to do more research, feel free to do that. But thank you so much for everyone's involvement, engagement, and contribution to the discussion. We will carry forward and continue that next week as well. Sunday, 5 p.m. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Keep yourself safe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Jai. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mo. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Ishan. So Ishan did say something. Hare Bol Ishan. Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya must be
Krishna.
ready. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, guys. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.